Okay, so it is opening day for Phyrexia All Will Be One, and I am jumping right in to play the new Jace, the new completed Jace, Jace the Perfected Mind. Comes down as early as turn 3, but on turn 4 can basically mill your opponent for 15, which is pretty amazing. If a Bruvac is on the table, that 15 becomes 30. This is the deck that you've probably already run into on ladder here and there. Runs 4 Ruin Crabs to go with 8 fetch lands. Runs Founding the Third Path to accelerate their game plan. Maddening Cacophony to mill your opponent for 8 or half their library if you can cast it for 6 mana. Drown in the Lock counters a spell or kills something as your opponent has more and more things in their graveyard. Glimpse the Unthinkable, a absolute powerhouse that just mills you for 10, 1/6 of your deck. Ashiok mills and then exiles to shut down any graveyard strategies. Didn't Say Please counters a spell, makes them mill, and of course Bruvac doubles any milling that your opponent does. And hopefully we get to cast a couple Jaces today. And, this is a pretty tight deck list, 4 ofs all around. It has one plan and one plan only. Put your opponent's entire deck into their graveyard. Let's see if we can do it a few times this league. Here we go. Okay, here we are in round 1. I have gone ahead and gotten the new Phyrexia full art completed lands. These things look absolutely beautiful. Alright, so no early game here. I'm going to mulligan. Now we do have a Ruin Crab and a Bruvac. That is great. I'm going to bin a Drown in the Lock. Alright, here is a Ruin Crab. Get ready to mill, opponent. See if they have removal for it off the rip. There is the black mana. They can Fatal Push, but instead it is a Shambling Ghast. That is good for me. Let's drop down a Swamp and see what they're up to. So this is some sort of Obnixilis Reanimator deck. Very cool. So this is going to be maybe discard synergy, or maybe some sort of Rakdos control. Okay, well, let's see what they got to do. Now that they have 3 things in graveyard, I'm going to have to start Drowning in the Lock. I will Drown in the Lock removal for Ruin Crab. Okay. We will counter the spell. And next turn I get a Bruvac into play. But then after that I don't really have much of a plan. It's just going to be milling based on Ruin Crab. Well, let's get him out of here. There's Bruvac. I'm going to fold to any board wipes, unfortunately. It doesn't seem like they play too many of those. Looks like it's just instant speed removal spells. Another exile, okay. They have 40 cards in deck. If I can just rip a land or something here, that would be great. They can start... I didn't want a land, oh no. So I'm going to lose Bruvac next turn to the flashback right of Oblivion. And we're going to kind of be in trouble. Okay, so they chose not to do that. Okay, that's probably why. Sure. Okay, so we are drawing a bunch of lands. Possibly the move is to play less lands in this deck. Also less swamps at that. Here is a Jace. I can mill them for 15, which is about half of their library. The graveyard has 20 or more cards in it. They have 12 in there. Is it worth it to just mill them now and hope to draw into another Jace next turn? Or will it be a good idea to try to keep Jace on the battlefield? I think I'm just going to pay Jace for 4 mana. Then -5 Jace. Okay, so that is 5 targeting you. Okay, there goes 15 cards. With Bruvak in play, that would have been 30. So, not too bad. And now we really get to see what they're doing. So they have... Okay, so they do have white mana, which we have seen, obviously. Looks like their win condition is just making a bunch of tokens. Yeah, seems like it. Here's Ashiok. Alright, we'll Ashiok them, mill their library, and they have 20 cards in deck now. Should be getting close. All that they have in hand is what they can work with. No flashback spells anymore. Ashiok's going to slowly die, but that's okay. And they're going to just start drawing. They're going to get close to decking themselves, which I do like. 14 cards in deck. They've got something that can make a creature. I'm at 20 life though, so it's okay. Here is founding the third path. Do I have anything in the graveyard that is useful? Not really. So I will just cast the... I'll actually hold on to this. You know, it's worth it to try to get this mill for, but I think right now I just want to... if I find a 1 or 2 mana spell in my next couple of turns, then it's absolutely worth it. They're down to 10 cards. It's probably not going to be enough to kill me. If they have a discard effect, I lose founding the third path, but, you know, it doesn't really do much anyway. Okay. Here they go with their draws. Do I lose Ashiok now? Let's see how many removal spells we've hit. They do have Abiding Grace. Good thing I'm able to get rid of stuff. Okay, there's Obnixilis. That is fine. They're just making little creatures. So I've seen 2 Rite of Oblivions. Seems like that's it. Should I discard? No, I will take 2 damage. They have second Obnixilis as well. What creates the copy? It's causality, casualty? Yeah.
My dreams.
They do have Rite of Oblivion. Sad. And we unfortunately aren't drawing anything here. I'm going to keep the Swamp in hand in case I need to discard something. And then now they only have 7 cards in hand. I will discard 1 card. See if they want to kill other Obnixilis, or not kill. They will plus him. I'll draw a card. It is yet another land. Okay. As soon as we draw a non-land here, we are doing quite okay. I will discard my Fabled Passage.
Go ahead. Plead for mercy.
Get another land. This is just absolute punishment for playing the deck that I'm playing. So we have seen in how many cards? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. We've seen way over half lands. That is insane. You know, we only play like 24, right? Like, it's insane. Yeah, basically I'm just trying to one-hit kill them with Founding. They got 4 cards in deck. And here is Ashiok. Ashiok mills and kills that right to Oblivion. And they have no cards in library. Last turn. Nice. He is just drawing his deck. Alright. We were able to do it game 1. Let's go mill. Let's move on to round 2. Okay, time for round 2. We have Glimpse in hand and a Ruin Crab. I'm liking this, plus a Jace down the line. Seems good to me. I'm going to play Pathway on the blue side and drop out a Ruin Crab. I can Glimpse them. Is this going to be a deck that is okay with getting milled? Counterspell, Proliferate. So this is just... Okay, so this is Counterspell Tribal. Interesting. Right. I misplayed and could have glimpsed this turn. I guess I won't. I'll do it later. Here is Watery Grave paying 2 life. didn't say please this. Perfect. My misplay ended up being perfect. Yeah, this is purely just counter spells. Okay. So I want to keep Ruin Crab on the board. 100%. Okay. Now I have 4 jaces. Or 3 jaces, rather, out of my 4. Here's a jace. Mill 15.
Plans are already in motion.
Alright.
I will shatter
They do have Memory Deluge. And yeah, so it's just a bunch of Phyrexians, looks like. Thrumming Bird, Proliferate. Yeah, okay, pretty cool. They do have board wipes. To see them use one to kill Ruin Crab would be great. Okay, so they played out 2 mana. What are their 2 mana counter spells? I actually do need to look at this. Not Dissipate. There could be another removal spell. What did we saw something. Reject Imperfection is definitely a thing. Mystical Dispute could be in hand. Okay. Founding the Third Path is really strong here. I'm going to play this into a counterspell. Short. And then now we glimpse them for 10. Alright, they're down to 15 cards in hand. A Jace kills them. So we just try to slam 2 of these. They are just going to slowly make more creatures here. 3 cards in hand. 2 of them are going to need to be counter spells, which, you know, based on their deck construction, could definitely be the case. Looks like they want to win with. Oh, nice. We got Ruin Crab. Looks like they want to win with Skrelev's Hive. Okay, down to 11 cards in deck. Now I play Jace on 5. That has to be counterspelled. Okay, they Memory Deluge. Okay, or are they just going to lose the game here? Nice, alright. And we got him. I do want to highlight my opponent's deck, which seems pretty cool. I do want to take a look at it and see what it's doing. So they're running Skrelv's Hive. Basically just makes toxic creatures. That's pretty cool. And then otherwise it's just Planeswalker control. So they have somewhat modified the counterspell Land to Fairy Memory Deluge deck, it seems. Kind of cool. I mean, they just kind of jammed a bunch of Praetors in the shell. Interesting deck. Not too shabby. Anyway, we're 2-0 after 2 rounds. Let's keep on going. Okay, round 3 time. What are we seeing? We have 2 lands, a Glimpse, bunch of Didn't Say Pleases, and an Ashiok and a Jace. Opponent shows Yorion. I think that I will mulligan this looking for a 1-drop and not a bunch of counterspells. Yeah, this is actually fine. I'm going to get rid of the Didn't Say Please. Then I will potentially try to hold on here. I want both a blue and black. At least... Oh, you know what? I'm going to Maestro's Theater for a swamp, try to play Bruvac, and then go off. Okay, so here's Bruvac. And then I have Maddening Cacophony into Drown in the Loch next turn. They mill 16. I'm going to need Bruvac to be able to deal with this Drown in the Loch deck. I'm going to hold on to Fabled Passage. So I'm actually 2 mana off from just killing them with Maddening Cacophony, which is cool. I will play it just to try to bait out a counterspell. Countering this is really good for them. Yeah, okay. Okay, and I can actually get in for one here. And so now I'm just kind of sitting here with counter magic, hoping to draw into something useful. Opponent on some sort of control plan. Okay. Now the question is, do I founding right now? Do I move in with Brewback? Well, I'm gonna at least attack in for one. Okay. Now, if I founding, what are my options? I'm gonna get to Drown in the Loch nothing. I'll be able to mill them for 4, and then exile Maddening Cacophony. So I actually do want to get this into play, maybe on 2. I know that they're gonna try to counter this if they can. I'll drown something. Second from the top. Oh, this is okay. Commit is okay. That's fine. At least we're getting things into their graveyard. So they have 2 in graveyard now. I will Fabled Passage so I can didn't say please whatever they try to do. Otherwise I'm going to hold it up for a Ruin Crab. I will sack this, get a blue, and didn't say please them. Okay, so that was the overextend. Now they mill 8. They do have Vraska's Contempt. Multiple Drown in the Locks. We're just going to attack in. And then these are going to have to protect me against their counter magic. Alright, at least we can Drown in the Lock this. Test of Talents. I mean, I'm going to just counterspell Test of Talents. Alright. Well, now both of us are going to essentially operate with no cards in hand. I gotta hope that my top decks can empty their library before their top decks can kill me. Bummer. Okay. Big removal spell. Luckily, Jace is kind of a really, really good card here. Because even if they are removing all my spells at instant speed, Jace can just come in and mill them for 15. So I'll get a Fabled Passage on the board. And now they've got Dovin's Veto, which kind of blows. I'm just going to have to start digging and looking to Dovin's Veto through these counter spells. Oh, they've got Test of Talents as a 4 of it, looks like. This might be hard to overcome. Maddening Cacophony, I can cast this for 6. Unfortunately, Test of Talents just blows me out. I already have one of these in the graveyard, so I'll just be losing a couple of cards. Test of Talents gives me cards for things that were exiled from my hand. Okay. Looks like they're not gonna tap out. I mean, I can kind of just pass through this turn and build my hand. Okay. Nice. They whiffed on their Golos activation. Now if I draw another spell, it could be okay. Okay. Notably, these cannot... Test of Talents can only do instants and sorceries. Dovin's Veto is only non-creature. So if I find a creature, I can at least get to work. I'm not going to cast Maddening Cacophony here. Drawing a Brewback is good. Unfortunately, they're just going to start Golosing until they get something. Another Narset, another Void Rend. Surprisingly, they just keep whiffing. They are sort of doing my work for me at the very least.
Focused and disciplined.
They absolutely look for another counterspell here, I imagine.
An open mind.
Smothering Tithe. Alright. They gonna play that? Okay, so I want to Maddening Cacophony and then Ashiok. I can't Maddening Cacophony for Kicker though, sadly. I'll just mill them for 8. Yeah, they just take it. Cool. Then yeah, I'll just sit here. Because Dovin's Veto can counter Ashiok, so I won't bother. Okay, so this is just kind of a little standoff. I'm going to play out the land because I care about having mana more. Especially after Tithe comes out. Oh, well, okay, that doesn't really matter because they have a Narset on board. Well, punished for not playing my Ashiok. It is what it is. Maybe I can get a better draw here. Rune Crab's not bad. I will pay my 2. And we still have about a full constructed deck to mill here. It's not looking good. And oh my god, they're gonna Mythos the Smothering Tithe. I love their deck. I will pay the 2. Let's move out a Ruin Crab. And here is an Ashiok that gets countered. Alright, so they have a negate in their new 7. I'm gonna just wait till they try to do something. And yeah, commit to memory kind of hurts me here. Share, Smothering Tithe, whatever. So I have to pay 4 a turn. Yeesh. This is beautiful. As someone who loves Mythos of Aluna, this is just totally fine to see. As I slowly die to a Golos. Okay, so I have to pay 6 here. I will do it. Bam, bam, bam. Autopay. And here is a pathway on blue. Alright. And now it's just kind of a slow boat here. Do I lose Ruin Crab? I will fetch with this, get a blue mana source. And I think the writing's on the wall here pretty much. I would just need them to tap out, and then I would need to get like a Founding, but also have something in hand. Yeah, I don't think I'm doing this. I'd have to get a Brewback and a Maddening Cacophony in order to mill them out from this point. And yeah, I think at this point I can probably just concede, or I guess I'll just watch them finish out here with Golos. So this is kind of an interesting one. They play nothing, no like permanents to hit with Golos. It's mainly just removal spells that they can cast for free. Kind of interesting. And then Commit to Memories. Another really cool card. Somewhat of a counter spell, and then also that. Okay, so what has to happen here is I go Founding, and then they hit me once, and then next turn I oh, you know what, I should have played this on 2, milled them now, and then next turn would have been the turn that I needed, because I'm going to die to Golos. Yeah, okay, so that doesn't matter, they can just commit it. Okay, so we are ostensibly dead. We're gonna get Narset wheeled again. Oh my gosh. Cool deck from the opponent. None of the new cards, but quite an interesting deck nonetheless. Narset wheels are a pretty powerful way to play the game. Alright, so we are 2-1 after round 3. Let's keep going. Alright, round 4 time. Let's go. We have Drown, Glimpse, Brewback, and Jace. This is a huge keep. I am going to find a black mana source off of Theater, and then Clearwater Pathway probably comes down as a blue land. At least this kind of is showing my opponent Esper Reanimator. So maybe they'll be fooled. Cool, so they're not countering my Glimpse, which is going to for sure turn on Drown in the Lock. Looks like they are on dealing damage to me. Okay, so that's potentially something I want to watch out for. They are running some of the new lands? These new lands? I don't know, these are not new actually, never mind. So it's just Embercleave aggro, looks like, with just a bunch of different cards. I am probably killing Steamkin at some point. Here is a blue mana for Brewback. Assuming he survives. I want a Jace mill for 30. And then he's almost dead. Ah, bummer. Oh, he's just doing that to get damage in? Wow. Okay. Oh my god. Then I can mill 20 with Glimpse. This is crazy. So what I'll do then is I'll just mill 4. So I'll do this, and I'm going to mill for 24. Yeah. Oh, opponent immediately gone, seeing Jace. Alright, there we go. Let's move on. Okay, here we are in round 5. A lot of counter spells, which I'm not super huge on. I think I want some actual action. And this hand's got it. I am probably going to put back Jace. Because if they've mulligan, they may be a combo deck, and Ashiok's going to be good. So, sadly, new Jace has to go away, but that is what it is. I'll show Fabled Passage on my first turn, and then probably fetch a black mana source. Guess I draw like Glimpse the Unthinkable or something. Alright, let's get a black mana source. There is Swamp. Alright, and here I'm going to wait and play a Brewback. Yeah, Brewback just makes Maddening Cacophony so much more potent. I'm potentially even on Ashiok after the fact. We'll see. Here is this. Here's Brewback. And now I have Maddening with Drown in the Lock backup, and then if not Maddening, assuming I draw the land. Otherwise, I'm on Ashiok. Okay, so this is Enchantress. They're going to be drawing cards, and I'm going to be milling them, so it'll be perfect. Okay, so here is Maddening Cacophony. Here is Maddening Cacophony. That's 32 cards of their library gone. That is just mean. I think this is going to be a pretty quick game. Heliod, that is okay. They can have all the life they want. Then I will Drown in the Lock, pay 2 life. Here's Ashiok. Activate, mill. Oh my god, watch all these cards get exiled. There is some sick pleasure to watching that happen. They're down to 7 cards in library. Next Ashiok is just enough to kill them. But that is assuming that they play Enchantress this turn. At this point I'm holding up Drown in the Lock to... Actually, Drown in the Lock doesn't do anything with Ashiok out on the board. Maybe should have thought of that, but it's okay. I think I got this. So they try to kill with Sithis. They draw. Now they're going to just be milled out. They do not have any sort of Enchantress combo, and we can see what they're playing. This is actually just... this is like a more control-based Enchantress deck. Interesting. She will get Trample, okay. First strike. Yeah, that's okay. 9-10. And with 4 cards in hand, I don't think they have enough to do it. They need exactly double strike, which I don't think is possible in white green. Okay, so it's just Authority of the Consuls. Cool. I mean, they do put 16 damage onto the board, which is impressive. Blossoming Defense actually does kill me, but now they will just be at 17 damage, right? Yeah, they need one more way. Oh, they can get me, actually. They need to put out a life-gaining land, which I know that they could have. Oh, they just don't have it. They should attack with Heliod. Oh. So now what happens? I have 2 cards in hand. If I... Oh, yeah, wait. I just jump blocked Brudak. They should have attacked me directly. I think actually no matter what, Ashiok is still killing them. Yeah, they needed to guarantee a kill. Oh, I got a Brudak anyway. My god. You may gain your life. Okay, cool. An opponent sees it. Alright, got another milling out. We are now 4-1 with Dimir Mill. You know what? It's a strong deck. Let's finish out this league. Okay, round 6 with Mill. We do have Founding the Third Path into Maddening Cacophony and Ruin Crab with a blue source to start. Do need to shock in a Watery Grave, but that's fine. Yeah, this is a pretty strong Mill start. They're on a tap land. Did not see if this is the same opponent from last game. Here is Founding the Third Path. Let's see what they're on. This is some sort of enchantment and control deck. Okay, so here's Founding the Third Path. Started on 1. Cast Maddening Cacophony. Alright. And what's kind of interesting is casting Maddening Cacophony does not highlight the alternate cast cost. Target player will mill 4 again. They're down to around half of their deck left. Maestro's Theater does give them a lot. Though I'm thinking that I don't want to cast Founding the Third Path, so I'm going to pay 2 life and hold up Didn't Say Please. So what have we milled? We've milled 2 Touch the Spirit Realms. That is pretty good. Kami, Generous Visitor, Rune of Might. Okay, so they're just going to try to make a creature and make it big. What am I countering, though, is the question. Reaver Harmony, maybe. Rune of Might's not super interesting either. Not really sure what I'm going to counter. Okay, well, Kami is going to get big. I will at least counter this now rather than later. I'm going to be able to cast Cacophony this turn. Alright, so I'll cast Cacophony. Here we go. Cast with Kicker. Auto pay. Now I have Maestro's Theater to mill them a bit more. Then next turn, it's going to be Founding the Third Path, casting Drown in the Lock. Let's get a blue mana source. 15 cards in hand, or in deck rather. We're getting close. It's a bummer that that's not going to survive. And I can only kill a creature with Drown in the Lock. Okay, so I mean, I guess I'll play this and then Drown in the Lock. Then I can counter Drown in the Lock as well. So let's destroy target creature. My life total is kind of safe now. Let's see what they play. Yeah, this thing was kind of annoying, so I'm going to get rid of it. Make some sort of a tempo play. And now if they play another creature... Okay. The opponent says, no thank you, even though I didn't have any cards in hand. Alright. That was a quick round 6. We're really speeding through the latter half of this league. One more to go. Let's finish strong. Alright, we got a good hand. Unfortunately, nothing to hit with Founding. Hopefully we draw into something. Here is Ruin Crab. Turn 3 Bruvac, turn 4 Jace. Let's do it. Hopefully they don't have removal. Or they wasted on the Ruin Crab. Okay, so this is Burn deck. This is definitely a deck that can kill a Ruin Crab. Founding the third path is kind of dead now, so I'm not going to do anything. They have Embercleave, so they're definitely just trying to go over the top with this deck. Okay, here's Monastery Swiftspear. Gonna have to start watching out for that. Absolutely block. Need every point of damage I can get here. This is good. And here I am on Bruvac. At this point I'm okay sacking my Ruin Crab or having them remove it. Oh my gosh, they don't even want to play against Mill. You know what? It's kind of understandable. It's really unfortunate being on the other side of the table. I've been there many times myself. Anyway, that was a pretty quick round 7. But the video is already at over half an hour, so I guess I'll leave you guys here with a bit of a shorter one. I'll be back with a lot more new Phyrexia content in the next few days, so do be looking out for that. Drop me a like if you liked. I'm looking for more subscribers, so if you're interested in more of the new content, please drop a sub as well. Helps me grow the channel. With that, that's all that I gotta say, so thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.